Welcome to my channel, Andrea's Diaries. This is my first video. It's gonna be one of many, capturing key events of my life, just anything that I want to capture for myself and that I think that potentially some of you out there are also going through very similar things. This is episode 1, taking you through how we got to the point where we found out that we can't have babies like many other women in the natural way. If I start a little bit with the background of my relationship, I've been with my husband for about 10 years. We were 21 and 22 when we met, and we moved in together 6 months after. We got married 7 years after being together. So we had some really good few years of just traveling, enjoying life and spending lots of time with friends and family. I also started my career progress in 2015, and then because of that really we didn't really think about having kids. So 2018 we got married. We knew that we want to stay in that honeymoon phase for at least a year, where we still enjoy just being married, you know, freshly married. It's a bit different than being boyfriend and girlfriend. So yeah, we did want to wait a little bit. So I wasn't necessarily feeling ready, and same with my husband, you know, just with everything that comes with. So around 2019, I think around summer, we said, that's it, we are ready now, you know, let's do it. We also decided to have a vacation to Peru. And when we were doing our injections, our vaccination for the Zika virus, we were told that we shouldn't try for a baby, or we were asked if I'm pregnant, and that really scared me, if I'm honest. I did not want to risk it. I am usually one that risks a lot, but not this time. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, just because of me being impatient is not going to affect my baby, my child. We said, okay, we will wait. So 2020 came and we were ready. Started taking some vitamins and just other supplements that I knew that it's going to make my body feel better. I started being healthier as well and working out. I started doing everything that the books say you should do to just increase your chance. In 2020, my husband also decided to change his career, which meant that he had to move back to my home country. We also knew that we still want to try for the baby, and I remember even his move, we decided for him to move after my ovulation period, or sort of like way after, just so we can, you know, start trying. And I remember that first time have not used contraception, although we haven't used contraception a couple of years before either. We did take care. This time we just knew, you know, we want to have this baby. I remember the love in our eyes and just full of hope and full of, oh my god, this is happening, you know, we are trying for a baby. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm getting emotional about that. Unfortunately, it wasn't happening. It didn't happen first month. It didn't happen in the second month, when again he came back home with where I went. I can't remember. We basically were together. Again, I chose the date, so it's similar to when, you know, ovulation happens. Obviously you can never know exactly, but at least I gave it a good chance. Then March 2020, COVID hit. We urged Mr. T back home as quickly as we could. I ended up being furloughed, so being home. The weather, I remember around April and March, it was just phenomenal, really nice. And I'm referring to the weather here because the weather, it's very significant to how I get into the mood. So I don't know how people in the cold countries have babies, but I can tell you summer is my time. Anyway, and Sorry, I'm talking about these things, but hey, you're on my channel, you want the ins and outs, and here it is. So I remember we enjoyed a lot just each other's company. I mean, when on earth do you have months of just you and your other half, you know, really working on your relationship from every point of view, from a sort of sexual point of view, from an inner sort of thoughts, inner way. You know, he's my best friend as well, so there's a lot of things we ended up talking and doing, and it was just the two of us, nobody else. And then we kept on trying basically, but I started feeling like there's something not okay. It was only, what, half a year that we started, so it's not necessarily time for us to start concerning, because, you know, people have it up to a year, 2 years and so on. However, it's something I remember we both talked about it, how we both had in our minds that maybe we can't have babies. I'm this person who always makes plan Bs, because plan Bs allow me to not get anxious about stuff. I remember I was around 14 and I had a plan B, which really is also plan A, adoption. So I always wanted to adopt, and we will adopt. That's categoric and certain. I knew that I want to give a chance to one or more kids, to a good life. My husband also had the thought that maybe he can't have kids, and you know what to do then. So it wasn't the fear necessarily of we're not gonna have kids, but it was more about the timing. I was 30 at that point. If I don't fall pregnant, I don't wanna waste my time for another 2 years trying for it, and then figuring out that maybe I can't have kids, and then starting adoption. Like, I just wanted to know, if I can't have kids naturally giving birth, then I can start the adoption process, because that also can take long. And by this time I started researching and following people on social media, and I could tell that there's years of investment even in that, which is why in August I decided to call the doctor. I remember lying actually about our situation, so I did say we've been trying for more than a year, and I had to say that because otherwise they wouldn't really even open my case. They wait 1 or 2 years before they even consider making some checks, and I just didn't think that was right, given that I knew there was something wrong. My period was always all over the place. I never thought about that before, but I always had months, sometimes I didn't have period at all. I remember panicking that oh my god, I'm pregnant. And it wasn't that, it was just my period. Before August as well, I had a period of 57 days of not having bleeding. So with all of those things, I thought, okay, I need to be checked out. I told the doctor and he said, you know, no worries basically. He did ask if I'm stressed and all those things, and I wasn't. I was keeping quite positive actually I felt for what I'm going through. I was more just impatient. He told me I need to do 3 tests. 2 blood tests on day 2 to 5 of my cycle and on day 21, and 2 scans, 1 x-ray and 1 ultrasound scan. I knew when my day 21 was going to happen, so scheduled in my blood test, went in, did my day 21. Then I waited for my day 2. Now here in UK you have to schedule in your blood test. And I was stressing because I knew I will not know when my day 2 is. I remember walking in, tearing up as well and getting emotional because they were not gonna do my test because I didn't have a booking. But I can't have a booking because I wasn't gonna know when my day 2 is. Anyway, I had my argument and they took me in and they did my test. In the meantime, also my husband had to do a semen test. So he went in. With COVID around us, it was a bit odd and you know everything was happening a bit differently, but nonetheless we were doing it. I got a call with the outcome of the test, and the outcomes were really weird, especially for me. And then we figured out it's because they labeled my day 2 as day 21 and my day 21 as day 2. So of course it wasn't gonna show what they wanted to see. And it was something also with my husband's one. They couldn't really tell me. It just didn't look okay. So we had to start reviewing it. Well, back in December 2020, I went again to do the blood test. And this time, I knew when my day 21 was going to be. However, I thought, okay, I'm going to disregard that month. I'm going to wait my day 2 to 5 and day 21. I was going to do everything per books. So I did my day 2 of December. For Christmas, of course, the clinics and things closed down. So I couldn't do it. I had to wait another cycle to do it. So beginning of February, I ended up having my day 21 blood test. Great! I have my test done. He has his test done. I ended up having my X-ray done in the meantime, which was all okay. So it's checking the uterus and the fallopian tubes. I can talk a little bit in another episode about how that feels. However, at this point, I did not have my ultrasound yet, checking my ovaries. End of February, I thought, let's see, when is it gonna happen? The clinic was closed. That did not make me happy, I have to say that. Oh, hello, Missy. Come here, come here. This is one of my cats, Missy. She's gonna be in these videos because I can't keep her away from it. So the clinic was closed now for about 3-4 months. I think it reopened somewhere in May. I mean, that was frustrating, not being able to even know if everything is okay. That did start to get to me mentally. Now I was still in a very good place. I was just getting impatient, and I just turned 31 as well, and I always knew I wanted lots of kids, and I started freaking out. Well, when is it gonna happen? Come May, I ended up being able to get in touch with the clinic, who called me in for the ultrasound. By this point, we started thinking, including the clinic, that it could be PCOS. Just everything was pointing at it, so I started researching that, and yeah, it did look like that's what I've had all my life. I actually got annoyed with myself. I just never thought, now looking at why am I not getting my period off normally? I did feel that some of it was my fault. However, I just had to accept it, and I just had to move on, and I just had to keep focused. In June, we found out the verdict. Yes, it's definitely PCOS. It was gonna be extremely hard for me to fall pregnant. It is possible. I know lots and lots of cases out there that have done it. It could take long, and it's when we were told, due to Mr. T being all okay and the issue being with myself, got a good chance to fall pregnant with IVF or other treatments. We were told we can go ahead and start the treatments. In July, I had the call with the doctor where I did tell them that my preference would be IVF. They gave me 2 options. One, to try hormonal treatment with some medications. I didn't want to go down that route. I said to the doctor, I want to just do IVF. And maybe it was because I was impatient by this time. I said, I want IVF, I want to just try it. I knew here we get for free 1 try, and if it doesn't happen, then at least I know I have other options, which is hormonal treatment and even naturally. So we started our IVF journey in July 2021, and I will tell you later about how that has been going. If you are still watching this video, probably you are in a very similar position, and I don't want you to worry. If you are just at the beginning of your journey, it may be nothing. Try to keep these thoughts out of your mind. If you think being checked out is what will make you be a bit more calm and being positive, then do it. Do it now. You need to have your inner peace. Let me know down below if there's anything you want to know. Blood tests, scans, x-ray scans, or just any questions you have that I probably already had it myself and I may have the answers. This is my first video, and I'm super chuffed that I managed to speak about my feelings and my thoughts and what's been happening. I hope you keep up with my videos. If you do want that, please subscribe. The video is going to come out every Wednesday. In the meantime, have a wonderful time, and see you in the next episode of my journey on IVF. Bye bye!